And I wish Errol and his people's the best. You know what I mean? Listen. Why not support your fighter? Support your fighter. You ain't got nothing wrong with that. Support your fighter. Y'all support y'all fighter. Let's come together, make this event a success.
I'd like to thank everybody coming out here and supporting. Make sure y'all order the fight on Showtime pay-per-view. I guarantee you I'm going to put on a great show.
The boxing world was surprised when Terence Crawford appeared at the press conference to support his former rival Errol Spence Jr. ahead of the fight with Tszyu. Despite their intense rivalry and historic showdown in the past, Crawford showed respect by standing behind Spence during this important stage of his comeback. He even predicted that Spence could win the fight, saying he still believes Errol has the skills, experience, and determination needed to overcome a dangerous opponent like Tszyu.
That fight can go if they do finally meet.
I think it's gonna be good. You know, I got a little wager bet, you know, for my boy Tszyu. You know, he got Tim, I got Errol. But I think it'd be a good fight for both of them at this stage in their career.
And why are you confident that you win that bet with Tszyu? You know, why Errol?
I'm not, 100% confident, you know. I just know, the caliber of fighter that Errol is. You know, just like I know the caliber fighter of Tim. You know, I think both of them have taken a lot of damage in their career so far. But I just think, Errol skill-wise.
During the press conference, Errol Spence spoke openly about his long absence from the sport and how much the break helped him. He said it felt great to finally be back and explained that the time away from boxing allowed him to recover both mentally and physically. According to Spence, stepping away from the spotlight gave him peace, helped him reset his mindset, and allowed him to return with renewed focus. He made it clear that he feels refreshed, motivated, and fully prepared for the challenge ahead.
I'm glad to be back. It's been a long time, 3-year layoff, and I'm sure everybody has their, reserved opinions, thinking I'm a shell of myself, or do we still have it? And it's just because I'll be thinking the same thing, seeing my last fight. But I guarantee you, come July 26th, you will see a better, more improved Errol Spence. It was some time I had 3 years off, and I feel like it helped me mentally. It helped me physically, gave me some time to recover, and just enjoy life, enjoy the spoils of my wins, and just being with family, being with friends. If you watch my Instagram, you see me traveling, enjoying my kids, having fun. And people kept asking me, are you coming back? When are you coming back? And I told them, I know when it's ready. I know when I'm ready to come back. And I knew one day that, I'll wake up and I decide to come back. And if it didn't happen, then I wouldn't come back to boxing.
While Spence sounded confident, Tszyu had a very different view of the situation. Tszyu warned that choosing him as a comeback opponent after such a long layoff could be a huge mistake. He argued that there are easier fights available for a returning fighter, but Spence decided to jump straight into a high-level challenge. Tszyu promised to bring constant pressure from the opening bell and said he intends to remind everyone why he is considered one of the toughest and most dangerous fighters in the division.
Errol's been out 3 years. You've been in championship bouts. You've been in wars. You've been very active. Do you think Errol made a mistake by picking you in his comeback fight?
Yeah, it's definitely not recommended, to go straight into the firing line. It would have been better to start off slowly, but, on his caliber, he feels like he doesn't need tune-ups, which is fair enough. But yeah, it's going to be fireworks from the open.
Spence also received support from longtime trainer Derek James, who attended the event and stood by his side. His presence was a strong sign that their relationship remains solid despite the ups and downs of Spence's career. Many fans viewed it as a positive sign ahead of the fight, showing that Spence still has experienced people around him as he prepares for one of the most important comebacks of his career.
This takes a lot of fortitude, a lot of discipline, a lot of focus. I think that I know for sure Errol has that. Listen. Why everybody got something to say? Everybody talking. You're not a fighter, you're a
When reporters asked about the possibility of ring rust after such a long break, Spence quickly dismissed the concern. He said ring rust is mostly a mental issue and only affects fighters who allow doubts to enter their minds. Spence insisted he has stayed focused throughout his time away and believes he is entering this fight in a strong physical and mental condition. In his view, the break helped him become a better version of himself rather than creating disadvantages.
You, Errol, as I mentioned, Tim's been in championship bouts and whatnot over the last 3 years. You're obviously now with Ronnie Shields. The question I'm sure people have is, 3 years with the layoff, how are you going to combat maybe the ring rust or the potential layoff as you prepare for this fight against Tim?
Ring rust is nothing but a mental thing. If you have a training camp and you look good in training camp, you look good in sparring, why can't you look good in the fight? That's a mental barrier you're talking about. And that's why people need tune-ups. Like, I feel like I don't need a tune-up because, the proof is in the pudding when you're in the gym. You know how you gonna fight once you're in the gym and when you train and when you sparring and working out and stuff. You know how you feel. So if I feel good in a training camp and I feel good in sparring, I'm gonna feel good in the fight. I'm mentally ready, physically ready. I feel like me and Ronnie Shields have a great game plan. Ronnie Shields been through this numerous of times. So, we'll be 100% ready for anything that, he could bring to the table.
Former world champion Andre Ward praised Spence for taking such a difficult fight immediately after returning. Ward said many fighters would choose an easier opponent to regain confidence, but Spence went straight after a dangerous contender. According to Ward, that decision reflects the mentality of a true champion who trusts his preparation, experience, and abilities enough to face a serious challenge without needing a tune-up fight first.
Now, I've always had respect for Errol Spence because he's a real fighter. He's not a guy that talks a lot, but he brings a big stick to the battle. And when you deal with Errol Spence, you got to bring your lunch pail because he's going to bring it and he's nothing to play with. Obviously, being 36 years of age, being off as long as he hasn't had the tune-up fights. And by the way, I need my tune-ups. Give me my tune-ups because boxing is hard. I need my tune-up because I need to sharpen my tools. I want to make another paycheck before I make the big paycheck, but that's just me. I need my tune-ups, but I respect this brother because he's not with the tune-ups. And you got to know who you are. If Errol knows that I can't really get up for that guy, then I can only get up for these type of guys. You gotta know yourself. And Errol Spence knows himself. So the respect is always gonna be there for him. And we will unpack this fight as we get closer because it's not until July 25th, but I'm excited to see him back. I'm excited to see him talking.
Terence Crawford also spoke about the respect he has always had for Spence. He explained that his admiration goes back many years, long before they became professional rivals. Crawford said he followed Spence's career during the amateur ranks and even through his Olympic journey. He respected his talent, work ethic, and achievements, which is why he continues to support him even after they shared one of boxing's biggest rivalries.